Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. In this episode, I'm going to do a simple UFO. I'm going to show you how to do this right now. So first of all, we're in our default scene, the one that I've made, and I did this in a couple of videos ago. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out where I'm going to delete the default cube, and then I am going to add a UV sphere. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the segments from 32 to 48. And then I'm going to change the radius to 25. Okay. And now, I have that set up. I am going to scale it on the z-axis by 0.5. There we go. Next, I'm going to do Shift A. And I'm going to add a cylinder. Okay, and I'm going to change the radius to 60 on this. I'm going to keep the depth at 2, but I'm going to change the vertices to 48, not 47. There we go. 48 vertices. Now I've got those set up. I am going to join this to this by doing Shift Select and doing Control J. Now that I have these two joined up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tab into edit mode. And I'm going to get rid of some faces here. By pressing 3. I'm just going to do these faces right here. X to do delete and faces. Okay, so now I'm going to put this straight on in the front orthographic. See, okay, and then I'm going to change to edge select mode by pressing 2 on my numbers there. Okay, now I want to take these by doing Alt and selecting one of the edges, and then I'm going to do Control E to bridge edge loops. Okay, and then what you'll notice is if I go into my wireframe, I'm going to press Z, go into wireframe. Okay. Let's see. You can see that we're still with these with this edge loop right here. I can easily eliminate that by going into 2 and then do an Alt and select that edge loop. X. And I want to delete vertices. Now, go back into solid. They got rid of any redundant geometry there. Okay. Now I want to add a little bit of detail here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control R to do loop cuts. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to take that one by doing an Alt click, and then I'm going to scale inward. Okay. And then I'm going to GZ. Okay. Actually, I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to extrude that EZ. I need to do vertex, snap. Okay. Now that one that I just did, I need to snap that to there. Turn on my magnet. Alright. And then I'm going to get rid of these faces here by doing 3 X base. Okay. And then I'm going to take these by pressing 2. Loop select, Control E, bridge edge loops. Okay, let's see. Bridge edge loops. Okay, so you may notice right here we have some interesting stuff happening right here, right? So, what I wanted to make sure is that I do Shift N. Now we're going to try that again. So sometimes you get things like that. Bridge edge loops. Okay. So right there were some normals that did some weird stuff. Sometimes if you have the exact number of vertices, but that kind of thing happens, you just need to make sure that your normals are correctly calculated. Alright, so now I'm going to take this. Then I'm going to scale it outward. Now, I want to do the same thing that I did out there. Let's see, we're going to get face select mode, Alt, and then EZ, and then SZ, 0, then it flattens it out. Okay. Okay, I want to do the same thing down here. Control R, 2 loop cuts, and I'm going to scale that inward. Alright, and I'm going to extrude along the Z-axis. 3, and I'm going to be doing a lot of alternating between 2 and 3, which are face and edge select. X, faces. Back into here. Control E. Bridge edge loops. And once again, we're having that problem down there, right? So we're going to Control Z on that. Select everything, Shift N to recalculate the normals. Okay, and now we're going to try this again. 2. Control E, bridge edge loops. Okay. You see, that time we didn't have that problem with the normals being wrong again. Alright, so now I'm going to do this one again. Okay. And then 3 for face select, E, Z. Okay, there we go. And then I want to add a little bit of a bevel right here. But since we already have these built-in edge loops, what we're going to do is we're going to press 2 for edge select now. And we're going to scale those in, not on the Z-axis, so we do Shift Z. There we go. Alright. So now we have all that stuff that's going right there. And then what I want to do is I'd like to make a nice little door down here. So I'm going to say C. Oh yeah, I want to go into face select mode. C, get circle select. Okay. And then I want to go into my pivot point for the selection and for the scaling and everything. Put it to 3D cursor. I'm going to say E to extrude, S. There we go. All right, and now we have that at the front. Pretty cool stuff, huh? So now I want to tab out of edit mode. And then I want to GZ. I want to get this so that the bottom of this mesh is going to be lining up with my print bed that I've set up. GZ. There we go. And now it's all lined up. There we go. And I want to get this a little smoother, so I want to do Control 2, where we have that now available of having subdivision, and it's a lot smoother. And right now, it doesn't exactly have the best detail here. And what I want to do to make that so it works better is I want to, there we go, Z for wireframe. Shift E, 1. Okay. So now we're going to be adding some crease to this. Okay. So I just want some places where I can do some creases. And then what ends up happening is that I have better definition on the edges of this thing. Okay. There we go. I'm just kind of like searching through this stuff here as I'm going. Okay. So all those places where I have sharp edges, I can take those sharp edges and then make them so they're better defined. So I'm just doing my Alt Select. Okay. And then I'm just about done. There we go. And let's see, right here. Last one's here. There we go. Now let's take a look at it by going back into solid. Just about there. So I have the majority of the edges that I want to have not being smooth but being creased. In fact, I just missed a couple here, and I'm going to do that there. Shift E1. Okay, and the last ones are going to be right here in the corners. Almost. Okay, Shift E1. Okay, there we go. So now we have a nice, even UFO here. So now that we have that set up, what we can do is that we can save that to an STL file. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save this first. Okay. Let's see. I'll go into... here. Okay. Alright. I like to do a lot of shortcuts. So, let's say UFO. We're going to do a new folder. UFO. UFO. Save that. And then we're going to export to STL. And then I'm going to do selection only, include that, and then I'm going to export STL. Oh, one thing that I want to say also is that you want to make sure that this, the Z scale, all the scale gets applied here. So I'm going to do Control A, scale. Just in case this does anything weird to my printable file, and we're going to try that again. Export to STL. And there we go. Okay. And I'll see you in a moment for slicing this bad boy. Okay, so now I am going to load my STL file into Ultimaker Cura so that I can slice this bad boy. So now we have the UFO in here. Got it all set up. Okay. Pretty sweet, huh? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this set up so that we have the slice. Now, one thing that I want to note here is that this thing's going to need supports, and a lot of them. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the preview here and see if we got it. Okay, looks good to me. So now that we have that, we're going to save this. We'll say save to disk. Okay. All right, and then we're going to save into the folder where we put the UFO originally. There we go. And then I'm going to save it to another removable device that's going to go into my 3D printer. So, all right, everyone. Final product. Take a look at the top here. So, not bad. Pretty good there. Take a look at the bottom. Not good. That right there has a lot of stringing, a lot of crazy artifacts going on right there, right? So, what do we do about it? We fix it. So, in the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix the design on this UFO print, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to make it so that it's better. So there's going to be a few things like maybe adjusting temperature settings, also taking care of just like what the main design was, and I'm going to divide the print. So join me in my next video, and I will show you how to do that stuff, and thank you for watching.